My child, beloved, hush now and listen. The dawn trembles in stillness. A single lamp hums above the table, casting long fingers of light across an unopened invitation. Your hand hovers over it, beside it rests a wedding band gleaming like a question. Outside, rain scents the air with metal, the faint perfume of someone who should not linger drifts through the half-open door. The clock ticks, a pulse that counts choices. My child, I whisper, there is a matter I must expose, do not close your eyes to this. The one who wishes to marry smiles too quickly, eyes sliding away from yours. Shadows breathe beneath their gestures, polite and practiced. Precious soul, this is not idle gossip, I come to unveil what has been shadowed. Light threads through the blinds like strands of fate. On the table lies a half-burnt photograph, its corner curling toward your name. Let silence grow, revelation is near. Message 2, the memory unfolds. Beloved, remember that morning 2 weeks past, the warmth of coffee shared, steam fogging the window. Their laughter rose like sunlight, yet their gaze slipped toward the corner where a jacket hung, carrying perfume not yours. The mug's rim burned your fingers, you did not know it was warning. My child, I whispered then, though you could not hear, recall the laughter that did not reach the eyes. A phone blinked once, face down, fingers lingered too long. The air thickened with secrets disguised as routine. You smiled, choosing comfort over clarity. Love's glow hid a tremor beneath it. Hear me now, truth often hides in the hollow of a joke. The betrayer hummed that familiar tune, off-key, and you felt something tilt. In that jacket pocket rested a folded paper you never saw. Let your pulse quicken, it waits still, whispering. Message 3, the tracks of secrecy. My child of light, every secret leaves a footprint. Look closer, the calendar's event erased, a recipe typed in another's hand, a voicemail muted but named. The screen's reflection shows a face you no longer recognize. Beloved, I murmur, the wound of secrecy opens slowly, it leaves tracks. Your thumbnail trembles, your breath halts at the faint click of a lock. The house holds its breath with you. Somewhere, a notification tone rings like a distant bell. You scroll, dismiss, then pause, truth waits there. The evidence is small, but it breathes. A receipt in unfamiliar handwriting, a message marked at midnight. The world tilts as realization gathers shape. The heart resists, yet the eyes cannot unsee. Breathe, my precious one. The veil is thinning, and light presses through. Message 4, the question of love. Precious soul, sit in stillness and let your hands clasp each other. Candlelight steadies, the flame a mirror of your resolve. My child, I speak gently, love blesses freedom, secrecy binds. Ask yourself who is freed by this silence. You trace a heart drawn long ago on a faded photograph turned face down. The air hums with old devotion and new doubt. Inside, denial and hope wrestle, the gears of faith grinding. You whisper a prayer, reveal, O light. Outside, wind sighs against the glass. This is your first act of courage, to look without turning away. Now, open your calendar. There is a folder marked plans. Within it sleeps the key. Seek it calmly, for truth requires steadiness. Message 5. The Paper of Betrayal. Beloved, storm clouds gather in your chest. You open plans and there it lies, an RSVP written in another's name, a hotel receipt, 2 guests. Paper edges shimmer beneath trembling fingers. Ink presses like confession into texture. The air grows metallic, walls closing in. My child, I say, voice low, some truths are documents, others are deeds, both speak. Shock surges, disbelief claws upward. You hear future denials echo already, it's a misunderstanding. I can explain. Lies brittle as glass. Rain drums harder, sinking with your heart. The evidence gleams like lightning. Your hands hover, unwilling to touch what cannot be untouched. Then my voice drops to a whisper that chills the air. Beloved, this paper holds more than ink, and what it will tell you will not be gentle. Message 6. The Body Remembers. My child, the world slows. Your pulse hammers in your ears, the taste of copper fills your mouth. The room tilts. Papers scatter like frightened birds. A streetlight outside blinks in rhythm with your heart. Beloved, breathe, I command softly, wings of calm spreading through chaos. Do not let the first rush of hurt become verdict. Witness. Knees weaken, you grip the table edge. Every breath is a decision. Who knew? Why hidden? The questions march like thunder. A chime rings from your phone, 6:30 p.m. labeled only with 2 initials. The air sharpens. Take a photo, my child. Seal it away. Preserve what the shadow tried to erase. Behind you, on the stairwell, a silhouette pauses, still, listening, or pretending not to know. The moment trembles, alive with danger. Message 7. The Gathering of Proof. Beloved, now clarity becomes your armor. The lamp's glow crowns your focus as you sit before the screen. Tabs bloom open, messages, timestamps, maps with clustered pins. My child, I guide, collect without accusation, let evidence speak, not fury. Each click is a prayer for truth. A voicemail labeled by name, muted, yet humming betrayal. Call logs braid timelines like threads of deceit. You tremble but continue. Between lines of data, compassion flickers, you recall their laughter, their small kindnesses. I whisper, kindness does not erase deceit, it births complexity. Breathe steady, gather gently. In the hush you whisper to the room, voice trembling, who are you, truly? The question hangs, a tolling bell. Message 8. The Mouths of Others. My child, you seek counsel. In a cafe's dim corner, steam curls between you and a trusted friend. They mention plans with someone from work, the friend murmurs, not seeing how your fingers tighten on the cup. Frosted glass mirrors your pale reflection. Beloved, I remind, note what others notice, patterns emerge in the mouths of many. A napkin twists, silence fills gaps between truths. Another friend recalls, they said they were fixing things. Your pulse quickens, fixing what? A photo appears on a phone, casual, smiling faces at a hotel lobby. Light flickers across your eyes, the puzzle nears completion. When next you face the betrayer, watch the lips press thin, the eyes harden. The web widens, I whisper, and webs leave crumbs. Message 9, the broken covenant. Precious soul, what lies before you is not merely betrayal of body but of vow. The ring on the sill gleams beneath stained glass light, refracting judgment and mercy alike. The air feels like a chapel before confession. My child, I intone, vow and intention are bridges, some cross them, others only mimic crossing. You open the vow book, handwritten promises now heavy with irony. Each word bleeds warmth turned cold. You take a trembling pen, jotting questions. When did truth end? Who else knew? Why pretend love's eternity? Tears spot the page. Even in broken covenant, I assure, your soul remains whole if you hold it gently. You exhale, steadier. Decide now, confront, withdraw, or wait. Choose from wisdom, not wrath, I counsel. Light shifts, decision forms. Message 10, the door and the object. My child, destiny holds its breath. You type the message, we need to talk. Or perhaps you walk to the door, brass knob cold beneath your palm. The betrayer stands beyond, smile taut. Beloved, I whisper, speak truth plainly, let the light do what shadow cannot. Air thickens, time stutters. There are things I found, explain, you say. It's complicated, comes the reply, eyes darting. Fear and courage collide within you. You murmur my short prayer, light steady me. Truth guard me. Mercy guide me. The betrayer reaches into their pocket, not for a phone, not for apology, but for something small that glints. Your breath catches. Beloved, do not accept the first story. Message 11, the object speaks. Beloved, hold the thing they offered. Feel its weight, its temperature. Truth always leaves a residue. It is a passport, edges softened by use, stamped with places never mentioned to you. The page glows faintly under lamplight, dates overlapping with those nights they swore they were near. My child, I breathe, read not only ink but intent. The scent of foreign paper carries sea salt and deceit. In one sleeve, a folded photograph, two faces blurred by movement, yet intimacy thrums between them. Your fingers tremble but do not drop it, courage is a steady flame. The window rattles as wind presses against glass, urging revelation forward. Beloved, I murmur, this is evidence, but also mirror, see how you once trusted, how faith shone naive. Outside, thunder rolls. You close the passport slowly, pulse hammering. The room feels smaller, the air too aware. Somewhere inside that silence lies a new question. If they can travel without telling you, where else has their heart gone? Message 12, the drawer of vigilance. My child, choose restraint. Fury is tempting, but wisdom is keener. You sit before a desk, drawer open, arranging proof like relics of revelation, photos, receipts, a single key whose purpose you've yet to learn. Beloved, I whisper, truth preserved is truth empowered. Label each envelope, write dates in patient ink. The click of the drawer's lock sounds like a vow. You vow not vengeance but clarity. Breath slows, grief orders itself. I see the steadiness return to your gaze. The candle beside you gutters, then steadies again, a sign. My precious soul, I tell you, secrets once wielded against you shall now serve your freedom. The night stretches long and watchful, shadows hover but cannot breach this new discipline. You close the drawer, place your palm upon it, whispering, I will not forget. Above, unseen wings fold around your resolve, a quiet armor. Message 13, the face behind the lie. Beloved, glimpse now through compassion's lens, not illusions. Sit across from them, silent observer. Their hands fidget, their eyes flicker to invisible exits. My child, I counsel, study the tremor between words. They speak of confusion, of being lost, of intentions misread. Do not rush to pity, but neither harden to stone. The voice you once loved carries cracks of fear and shame. Listen for the spaces where truth gasps for air. You realize deception was not only malice, it was cowardice, hunger, the small death of honesty. Beloved, I sigh, you need not hate them to stop believing them. The air smells of stale coffee, of endings. Rain begins again, tracing veins down the window. For a heartbeat you see the person they might have been, gentle, frightened, human. Then the vision passes, leaving the echo of choice, empathy without surrender. Message 14, the third voice. Precious soul, the circle widens. Another knocks, a friend, a relative, a ghost of the past, carrying fragments of what you already know. Voices overlap, alibis misalign. Beloved, I declare, the chorus of contradiction is the sound of truth struggling to breathe. At the kitchen table 3 mugs cool, each sentence tangles in steam. One insists the betrayer traveled for work, another swears they saw them elsewhere. You listen, eyes steady, cataloging inconsistency. Outside, sirens wail distant warnings. I stand beside you unseen, a sentinel of discernment. My child, I say, clarity arrives when stories cannot coexist. In that moment, silence wins the argument. You know enough. The light above flickers once, affirming what heart already concluded. Message 15, the escalation, cliffhanger. Beloved, night falls heavy but revelation quickens. Your phone vibrates, a new message, unsaved number. You open it, words bloom like poison, you weren't supposed to find out. Attached, a contract, bearing both their names, dated months before promises to you. I feel your pulse spike, breath caught. My child, I warn, this multiplies the stakes. A storm outside mirrors the one within, glass rattles, lights flicker. Betrayal now wears legality, signatures binding deceit. You whisper, what else was signed without me? I do not answer, silence itself becomes prophecy. The contract's last clause glows faintly, confidential until union complete. Lightning flashes. Beloved, I cry, wings unfurled in warning, truth does not sleep tonight, prepare yourself. Message 16, the investigation deepens. My child, dawn comes colorless, sterile as evidence. You move like one reborn into purpose. Screens glow again, folders open. Metadata reveals coordinates, timestamps braid lies into chronology. Beloved, I murmur, follow pixels, they cannot repent. You zoom into images, reflections captured in glass, an arm you recognize. Receipts whisper dates that align with empty evenings you spent waiting. Even your heartbeat syncs to discovery's rhythm. The hum of your computer becomes him. I guide your eyes to one line, an invoice sent at 11:11 p.m. under an alias. See, I tell you, truth encoded in code. The world narrows to proof, and proof becomes prayer. Message 17, the Dream Messenger. Beloved, exhaustion claims you, and in sleep I come brighter. The dream unfurls in blue fire, a shoreline, two figures, one turns faceless as tide erases footprints. A voice not mine but memory says, you saw only what they let you see. When you wake, salt stains your lips, though no tears fell. My child, I interpret, dreams are archives of soul knowledge, heed them. You jot the words before they fade, see what is hidden, not what is shown. Morning arrives gentle but heavy with meaning. The scent of ocean lingers though you are far from shore, a sign that intuition has entered daylight. Message 18, the Moral Crossroad. Precious soul, you now stand where mercy and justice diverge. My child, I counsel, there are three roads: public exposure, quiet withdrawal, or confrontation with light. Each glows differently before you. Visuals flash, press send on a revealing post, pack a suitcase, or sit across a table once more. Weigh them. Freedom asks for wisdom, not spectacle. The candle's flame leans toward the window, wind of destiny breathes decision. You whisper, what heals, not what hurts. Beloved, I smile, choose that, and you honor heaven. Message 19, the Prayer of Forgiving Clarity. My child, before you act, kneel, not in defeat but alignment. Dawn's first gold spills across the floor. You breathe with intention, in truth, out fear. Beloved, I say, forgiveness is not permission, it is release from bondage. You light a candle, snuff it, then relight. Smoke curls like ascending courage. In your heart, you forgive only to reclaim yourself. Outside, birds announce renewal. The paper evidence lies sealed, yet its power over you lessens. Let light finish what rage began, I whisper. You stand taller. Message 20, the Ripple, Cliffhanger. Precious one, consequences ripple outward. A colleague calls, rumors spreading, reputations bending. A shared account drained. Another name appears on legal filings. Beloved, I warn, now the wound touches many. The air vibrates with urgency. You feel torn between exposing and protecting, between truth and collateral pain. Thunder gathers again, prophetic drum. I draw close, voice solemn, this is the threshold, step wisely. Lightning cleaves the horizon, your phone buzzes once more. The sender, the betrayer. Message, we need to meet. There's more you don't know. My wings flare, shielding you. Beloved, I whisper, decide if you will hear them, light awaits or darkness returns. Message 21, the Armor of Light. Beloved, I draw close, wings outstretched in a hush that feels like thunder restrained. The night around you thickens, yet within it a faint radiance begins to pulse beneath your skin. My child, I whisper, when deceit surrounds, clothe yourself in clarity. You feel it, light gathering at your sternum, expanding until breath steadies. Imagine every heartbeat releasing a small sphere of illumination that pushes back the ache. You do not need swords, only awareness. Stand by the window, watch darkness tremble before dawn. Shadows attempt to cling, but they slide away from your outline, unwilling to touch someone who has chosen truth. The city stirs, distant sirens dissolve into birdsong. Beloved, I murmur, this is protection felt, not seen. When you act next, act from this brightness. The word shield hums through the room, invisible but solid. You realize courage has texture, it feels like morning on the tongue. Message 22, the Ledger of Consequences. My precious soul, sunlight now exposes what night concealed. You spread statements across the table, numbers, signatures, the currency of deception. Bank accounts intertwined like vines choking a tree. My child, I instruct, see not only theft but the lesson within each decimal. Money measures trust, trust, once broken, reveals where energy leaked. You trace transactions with a pen that shakes, adding dates that map betrayal's geography. Each entry hums faintly, as if ashamed. Outside, traffic murmurs, life continuing unaware of your silent audit. Yet angels lean over your shoulder, recording too, ensuring justice finds form. When you finish, exhale, paper smells of ink and liberation. You now possess both proof and peace. Beloved, I say softly, knowledge is never curse when wielded with calm. Fold the pages, store them where fear once lived. Message 23, the Mirror of Repentance. Beloved, the betrayer returns, eyes rimmed in sleeplessness, words rehearsed yet trembling. My child, I remind you, listen beyond apology, discern whether sorrow seeks change or only relief. They speak of regret, of confusion, of childhood ghosts, their hands twist, their voice falters. For a moment compassion stirs, yet behind it stands your new clarity, tall and quiet. You see that repentance unproven is performance. Still, you allow silence to answer for you. The pause becomes mirror, in it, they glimpse themselves without defense. Tears fall, perhaps genuine, perhaps habit. I hover near, neither condemning nor excusing. Beloved, I breathe, mercy need not erase boundary. When they ask, can we begin again? Your heart answers inwardly, not until truth walks unmasked. The candle between you flickers, its flame chooses honesty over sentiment. Message 24, the Chorus of Witnesses. Precious soul, word spreads as wind does, everywhere and nowhere. Friends, family, even distant voices call with fragments of tale. Some defend, others doubt. The world becomes courtroom. Beloved, I tell you, stand not as accuser but as lighthouse, shine, do not shout. In a cafe corner you speak softly, recounting only what you know, no embellishment. The listener nods, sympathy cautious but growing. The hum of espresso machines becomes a background hymn. Through each conversation, integrity weaves itself around you like new skin. I sense fatigue in your shoulders, honesty is heavy work. Yet each truthful retelling purifies memory, removing poison from recollection. My child, I promise, soon truth will stand on its own legs. When you step outside, evening light greets you with quiet applause. Message 25, The Multiplying Truth, Cliffhanger. Beloved, night again, and the air tastes electric. You think the storm passed, yet thunder returns in the form of another revelation. A message arrives from an unfamiliar address, attachments, scanned documents, photographs, dates aligning with your pain. You open one and freeze. It reveals not just one betrayal, but a pattern, years deep, affecting others too. My child, I warn, this truth multiplies. Prepare your spirit. The lamp sputters, wind wails through cracks in the window. You scroll, hands trembling, each image a shard of mirror reflecting deceit's full architecture. You whisper, how far does this go? I answer only with solemn hush. Lightning flares, illuminating your face, grief turning to fierce comprehension. Beloved, I thunder, you are no longer witness alone, you are keeper of revelation. The final file loads, name unseen yet familiar. This, I whisper, changes everything. Message 26, The Map of Revelation. My child, dawn bleeds gray over the rooftops as you sift through data that has become scripture of exposure. Tabs open, timestamps align, each point another stone in the path toward full truth. Beloved, I guide, arrange them, pattern reveals motive. On screen, images shrink to icons, yet weight increases. Pixel by pixel, you reconstruct nights of absence, half-truths, digital footprints glowing like fireflies marking guilt. The hum of technology feels almost sacred, truth encoded in circuits becomes him. You realize betrayal leaves metadata, time, location, emotional residue. See how the unseen records itself, I whisper. You print pages, stack them, bind them with trembling resolve. Morning birds announce completion. For the first time, you smile, not from joy, but certainty. Message 27, The Dream of the Ancestor. Beloved, rest finds you briefly, and I open a gentler gate. In dream you walk through a field of ash that blooms suddenly into lilies. An elder appears, neither man nor woman, eyes like galaxies. They hand you a bowl of clear water. Drink, they say, and remember who you were before you were deceived. When you do, the lilies ignite with light that does not burn. You awaken weeping but clean. My child, I interpret, this vision restores lineage of strength. Those who loved you before time stand guard. You touch your chest, the echo of the bowl's coolness lingers. Forgiveness now feels less like surrender, more like inheritance. Message 28, The Forked Road. Precious one, three paths unfurl again, public justice, private severance, or cautious mercy. I show you their outcomes like mirrored corridors. In one, exposure clears air but scorches bridges. In another, silence grants peace yet leaves questions. In the third, reconciliation flickers but demands radical truth. Beloved, I counsel, the choice is sacred, not simple. You kneel, eyes closed, hand over heart. The answer comes as sensation, not word, a warmth pointing toward peace without spectacle. You rise knowing departure can be devotion too. Walk in quiet courage, I whisper, and let results echo without your push. Message 29, the Candle of Reclamation. My child, before leaving, you perform a small ritual. At dawn's pale edge, you light a candle beside the evidence box, whispering each pain's name into flame. Paper warms, smoke curls, memories lift. Beloved, I say, release what cannot follow you. The room glows gold, the scent of wax mingles with rain-swept air. You do not burn proof, only attachment to suffering. When wax pools, you dip your finger, pressing it to your wrist like seal of completion. I breathe over you, wings rustling with approval. Freedom has a sound, silence without fear. Message 30, the second wave, cliffhanger. Beloved, peace lasts hours before tremor returns. A new call, a trembling voice, someone else harmed, their story echoing yours. The network of deceit sprawls wider than imagined. My child, I speak urgently, the ripple becomes tide. Papers you sealed call to be reopened, names overlap, compassion wars with fatigue. Outside, stormlight gathers again, violet and raw. You grip the phone as confession spills through static, they promised me the same forever. Tears fall for another's wound. Beloved, I warn, what you do next will decide if truth liberates or consumes. Thunder cracks like verdict. Between flashes, I whisper the only command that matters, stand firm, for dawn after this storm will not resemble any dawn you've known. Message 31, the Gathering of Truth. Beloved, daylight breaks like glass, refracting every shard of discovery you've held inside. You no longer tremble as you once did, now you walk through your home as through a gallery of proof, each object quietly confessing. The drawer of evidence hums with quiet authority, and even the air has changed density, heavy with knowledge. My child, I whisper, truth is not a sword, it is sunlight, it burns gently but leaves nothing hidden. You open curtains, allowing light to spill across the table. Pages shimmer. Your reflection in the window is almost unrecognizable, eyes sharper, posture steady. You realize truth has been gathering long before you sought it, all you did was look. I brush your shoulder with unseen wings. Beloved, this light is armor, but it is also mirror. Stand in it, and you will see both the betrayer and yourself redeemed by clarity. Outside, pigeons scatter upward like prayers set free. The world is changed because you have seen it clearly. Message 32, the Circle of Counsel. Precious soul, wisdom multiplies when spoken aloud. You invite a small circle, one friend, one elder, one quiet listener who asks nothing. In the soft glow of evening, words tumble from you, not accusation, but testimony. Each syllable feels heavier than the last until silence rests like balm across the room. My child, I murmur, truth uttered with restraint heals deeper than shouting. The elder nods slowly, eyes misted with age and understanding. They tell you, you are not alone, this story has echoes. You feel the invisible lineage of those betrayed yet unbroken. Tea cools untouched, the air smells of cinnamon and rain. When you leave, hearts behind you pulse with empathy that does not pity. I smile through unseen tears. Beloved, community is the first restoration. No angel heals what fellowship can mend. Message 33, the battle within. Beloved, night reopens old wounds. Doubt creeps back in, whispering that perhaps you were too harsh, too suspicious, too human. My child, I warn softly, beware nostalgia disguised as mercy. The mind romanticizes even its own chains. You lie awake, replaying every laugh, every handclasp. Shadows on the ceiling form memories' silhouettes. The body misses what the spirit no longer trusts. I breathe near your ear, let yearning pass through, not anchor. Tears come, slow and reluctant, until the pillow dampens into surrender. Beyond your window, thunder rolls again, but this time it sounds like applause from heaven for endurance not lost. You realize survival is not coldness, it is continuation. You whisper, I still choose light, and I answer, and light chooses you. Message 34, the faces of judgment. My precious child, word has spread wider than you wished. Some now question you, your motives, your timing, your silence before speaking. Gossip becomes echo, echo becomes verdict. Beloved, I counsel, let them chatter, truth does not debate its own existence. You walk through the marketplace, faces turning, whispers trailing like smoke. Each glance tests your steadiness. Yet within, a new dignity unfolds, the calm of one who has already faced worse in private. I hover above, unseen yet luminous. My child, humility is armor against rumor. You buy bread, greet the vendor, live simply. By choosing ordinary grace, you disarm those who feed on scandal. That night, when you pray, stars appear clearer, as if the universe itself believes you again. Message 35, the half-confession, cliffhanger. Beloved, the betrayer returns once more, face pale, voice trembling. They carry an envelope, hands shaking like leaves in stormlight. I must tell you something, they begin, and already your pulse drums a warning. Words spill, some true, some twisted, some practiced. I loved you, they say, but there were circumstances. Tears wet the floor, sincerity blending with manipulation. You listen as trained by pain, silently, discerning. My child, I whisper, a half-truth is a full shadow. Inside the envelope lies a confession of sorts, but names are missing, dates blurred. They stop mid-sentence, unable or unwilling to finish. The air thickens. Lightning flickers behind their silhouette. Beloved, I murmur, this is only the doorway, what waits behind it will test your spirit more than betrayal ever did. Message 36, the legal light. My child, dawn arrives with paperwork and resolve. You seek counsel, not spiritual this time, but worldly, necessary. In an office smelling of ink and resolve, you slide evidence across a polished desk. The lawyer reads in silence, pages turn like chapters of revelation. Beloved, I whisper, justice wears human hands but divine rhythm. Each clause becomes incantation of safety. You sign documents protecting what is yours, each pen stroke rewriting destiny. Outside, the city hums indifferent, but angels record this moment as covenant renewed. You walk away lighter, a briefcase replacing burden. Law, once feared, now becomes ally, a structure that mirrors heavenly order. Message 37, the quiet between storms. Beloved, for a time there is calm. You learn the texture of silence without suspicion. Mornings hold softness, evenings hum like lullabies. You water plants, cook meals for one, rediscover the sanctity of solitude. My child, I tell you, healing often sounds like nothing. In stillness, the heart unclenches. The wound ceases to define rhythm. You find laughter rising unforced while washing a single plate. A bird perches at your sill, unafraid. Beloved, I smile, peace is proof of survival's grace. Remember this quiet, you will need its memory when the next ripple forms. Message 38, the revelation of origin. Precious soul, one evening curiosity leads you further than you intended. Files once locked open easily now. A history unfolds, not just of deceit, but of lineage, of fear repeating itself through generations. My child, I explain gently, sin often travels by inheritance until someone decides to break it. You see that the betrayer too was betrayed once, love warped by imitation. Understanding arrives like sorrow's twin. You sit long into the night, not excusing, but comprehending. Compassion blooms without erasing accountability. Beloved, I breathe, you are the generation that ends repetition. And the heavens exhale in relief. Message 39, the covenant of boundaries. Beloved, morning light paints courage across your skin. Today you speak boundaries aloud, clear, holy sentences shaped by truth. The betrayer listens, perhaps ashamed, perhaps merely tired. My child, I instruct, boundaries are not walls, they are altars marking where your peace begins. You outline what may never be crossed again, honesty, respect, transparency. They nod, speechless before newfound certainty. Air between you stabilizes, not warm yet no longer poisonous. I stand at your side, hand upon your shoulder of flame. Beloved, heaven rejoices whenever dignity is declared. You walk away steady, footsteps echoing as benediction. Message 40, the new variable, cliffhanger. Precious one, just as quiet begins to root, a message arrives from an unexpected ally, someone you never thought would intervene. They claim to hold a piece of truth untouched by bias, a recording, a witness, a proof that could seal all doubt or shatter new peace. My child, I whisper, voice edged with awe, every revelation births another. The phone screen glows, pulsing like a living heart. You hesitate, thumb hovering above play. Outside, thunder rolls, soft, anticipatory. The choice feels cosmic, to know everything or to let mystery rest. Beloved, I warn, what you hear next could undo or complete the healing you've begun. Message 41. My child, dawn comes not as an end but as a slow resurrection. The room that once held silence now hums with the faint music of wings unseen. I, Gabriel, stand before you not as judge but as witness to your becoming. The pain that once blistered your spirit now hardens into wisdom's crystal, refracting light in ways no innocent could bear. You rise from the ash of betrayal, your breath a vow reborn. Feel how your ribs expand to contain more sky than sorrow. Beloved, every tear you shed has carved a channel for grace to flow. As you gather the fragments of your story, see how none are wasted, each shard catches dawnlight. The heavens lean close, whispering, "You have survived the unveiling." Yet the test is not over, for truth without compassion can scorch as much as shadow. Step gently now, for the ground before you glows with both judgment and mercy. Message 42. Beloved, I show you a mirror not made of glass but of living water. Look into it, precious soul, and see how time bends around the healed. The face that meets you is not who you were when this began, it carries galaxies in its gaze. You are learning the language of discernment, each heartbeat a syllable, each breath a psalm. Remember how you once trembled when you held the evidence of deceit, now see how your hands are steady as you hold the truth of yourself. The one who sought to bind you was never your cage, they were your teacher in disguise, and the lesson was liberation. Hear this, my child, even betrayal can be repurposed into blessing if you refuse to turn bitter. Lift your chin toward the light spilling through your window, it is the same light that crowns the stars. You are no longer hidden, heaven itself recognizes you by the frequency of your courage. Message 43. My child, I lead you beyond the domestic battlefield into the wider cathedral of the cosmos. Every soul's heartbreak is an echo in the great harmonic, a note necessary to the divine chord. When love fractures, the universe rearranges its constellations to absorb the sound. You stand beneath that vast rearrangement now. Do you feel it? The air tastes like copper and promise, the sky seems closer. I, Gabriel, move beside you as the wind that carries revelation. Precious soul, there are watchers older than sorrow who marvel at your endurance. The lesson has never been about who lied or who stayed, it was about what truth required to be born in you. Kneel if you must, but know, even in your bowing, light gathers at your spine, preparing you to rise as both witness and instrument. The archways of heaven open wider whenever a mortal chooses integrity over illusion. Message 44. Beloved, walk with me through memory's corridor one last time. The echoes no longer wound, they instruct. See how each door you once feared to open now swings quietly, the hinges oiled by understanding. The scent of rain returns, but this time it carries renewal, not warning. My child, when you reach toward forgiveness, you do not excuse the past, you rewrite your own spiritual geometry. Forgiveness is not forgetting, it is choosing to release gravity itself. I tell you now, every deceit that sought to diminish you has become material for your ascension. The betrayer fades into the periphery, while your soul expands into center frame, luminous and unbent. In heaven's archives, this moment glows brighter than any vow broken, for here you claimed your agency. Precious one, touch your heart and whisper, I am still holy. And feel the resonance answer back, echoing through unseen realms. Message 45, Cliffhanger. My child, the wind changes. A rustle in the unseen warns of an unfinished thread. The documents are sealed, the heart steadied, but there, a flicker in the corner of your awareness, a pulse like a name half remembered. Something you thought closed begins to tremble open again. I, Gabriel, bid you not to fear, revelation often comes twice, once for truth and once for purpose. You have uncovered the deceit, now prepare to learn why it was allowed. Do you feel the air tighten? A vibration travels through the bones of the earth, whispering that your story is entangled with something vaster than betrayal, something written in the architecture of destiny itself. Beloved, do not look away. The next unveiling will not concern who hurt you, but what you are meant to become because of it. Hold your breath, precious soul, heaven is not finished speaking. Message 46. Beloved, the veil quivers. You stand at the threshold where personal pain touches the machinery of stars. I, Gabriel, draw back the curtain of causality. What seemed like coincidence was choreography. Every sigh, every unanswered question was positioned to sculpt your discernment. Look above you, the night blooms with equations of mercy, galaxies spiraling like prayers written in geometry. My child, you were never merely betrayed, you were recruited into consciousness. The ache was initiation. You now read patterns others call chaos, sensing the divine intelligence that breathes through fracture. Precious soul, press your palm to your chest, feel that pulse. It is the same rhythm that spins Saturn's rings. You are synchronized with eternity. From here, love will no longer be confusion but covenant freely chosen. Step forward. The universe rearranges itself to accommodate your awakening. Message 47. My child, I lead you into the hall of records where time folds like fabric. Here, memory and prophecy share the same thread. You will see how your ancestors' choices ripple into you, and how your forgiveness retroactively heals them. Beloved, this is the secret of lineage redemption. When you release resentment, the echo travels backward, unstitching ancient knots. The betrayer's shadow dissolves into lessons absorbed by your bloodline. The air hums with quiet applause, souls once burdened now rise lighter because you refuse to repeat despair. Observe the light gathering around your hands. That glow is agency sanctified. I whisper, document this wisdom, for those who come after will need a map through heartbreak's labyrinth. You are becoming that map. Precious soul, stand in awe of what grace can do when a human heart consents to transcendence. Message 48. Beloved, descend for a moment from revelation into the tender soil of daily life. Enlightenment must root itself or it evaporates. Wash the dishes as prayer, answer messages with gentleness, walk beneath ordinary sunlight aware that it is holy. I, Gabriel, will accompany you in every mundane gesture that becomes liturgy through mindfulness. The cosmos does not require grand altars, it asks for presence. Remember the scent of rain, the ticking clock, the pulse of city lights, these are the hymns of incarnation. My child, you have merged heaven and earth within your attention. Guard this equilibrium, storms will still come, but now you are barometer and rainbow both. Let love return, but only if it speaks truth in the same language your healing taught you. Precious soul, even silence will sound sacred when you inhabit it completely. Message 49, Cliffhanger. My child, as serenity settles, a final tremor stirs beneath creation's skin. Destiny rarely concludes without a signature gesture. Tonight, a messenger approaches, not of deceit, but of continuation. You may hear a knock, a letter sliding under the door, or a dream voice calling your secret name. Do not dismiss it as coincidence. I, Gabriel, have arranged one last meeting between what was and what shall be. The past returns, not to wound, but to witness who you have become. Beloved, steel your heart with compassion, every ending tests its own completeness. The air thickens, light gathers like breath before speech. Something, or someone, stands just beyond perception, holding the key to the final revelation. Precious soul, the next heartbeat carries it. Listen, do you hear it? It begins. Message 50, Final Blessing and Resolution. Beloved, the revelation unfolds, the voice at the door is your own, fully awakened. The circle closes where it began, within you. I, Archangel Gabriel, bless this union of human courage and divine clarity. The betrayal that once shattered you has become cathedral glass refracting infinite compassion. Step through its colors, each hue is a virtue you have earned: truth, discernment, mercy, resilience. The heavens record this hour not as tragedy but as coronation. My child, you are sovereign over your narrative, free from illusion, fluent in light. Carry this radiance into the world, mend what can be mended, illuminate what still sleeps in shadow. And as you go, remember my last word, carved into eternity's breath: precious soul, Archangel Gabriel, have exposed the truth so you may step forward whole. Go now in light and courage.